Alright, so let's go over your quiz. First question says, write an expression for the nth term of the sequence. We have 1, 1 over 2, 1 over 6, 1 over 24, and 1 over 120. Well, I know the top number is going to be 1, and the bottom number, well, I see that this went up by a factor of 3, by a factor of 4, by a factor of 5. So if this is 1, it looks like this would be 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial. So that would be our equation, and then if we were going to find, oh, that's what we want. Right, so that would be the answer for number 1. For number 2, it's asking us to find the fifth partial sum from 1 to 5 of negative n squared. Now this isn't negative n squared, it's totally different. Right, remember negative 2 squared would be negative 2 squared, and negative 2 squared would be negative 2 times negative 2. So what this sum is this would be negative 1 squared plus negative 2 squared plus negative 3 squared plus negative 4 squared plus negative 5 squared. This would be negative 1. This would be negative 4, negative 9, negative 16, and negative 25. If you add all those together, you'll get negative 55. Next question, I asked you to find the infinite sum. Starting at 1 and going to infinity of 4 times 1 over 10 to the nth power. Well, we know that this would just be 4 times the sum of 1 over 10 to the nth power, which would be 4 times, let's start at 1 and let's see what happens. This would be, if n is 1, you would have 1/10. If n is 2, you would have 1/100th. If n is 3, you would have 1,000th. And then we could just keep this pattern going. And if we did 4 times those numbers, you would get 4 times 0.111111 would be 0.44444444. Right, so that would be the answer. All right, the next problem, it says given the third and the eighth term. So if a sub 3 is 22 and a sub 8 is 56, we want to find the 21st term. All right, so first thing we have to do, this is an arithmetic sequence. So generally our formula was a sub n is equal to the first term plus d times n minus 1. So let's figure out what d is. To get the common difference, you have to figure out what's the difference between these numbers, and then how many numbers do we have to make up that difference. So the common difference would be 56 minus 22 is 34. So if that's the common difference, then let's make a little chart here. We know if a sub 3 is 22, if we do 22 minus the 34/5, that'll give us the second term, and then subtracting the 34/5 would give us the first term. So let's see what that is. 22 minus 34 over 5 is 15 1/5. And then minus the 34 over 5 is 8 2/5. So that's our first term. And we want to figure out our 21st term. So we're going to take 8 2/5 plus 34 over 5 times 21 minus 1. Let's see what that is. 8 2/5 plus 34 fifths times 21 minus 1 comes out to 722 over 5. And then we have one more. It's asking us to figure out the 21st term in the sequence. So we have 3, and then negative 3 over 2. Then we have 1, and then negative 3 over 4. And then we have 3 over 5, so on. All right. Well, looks like we have 3's on top, and I mean, if we put this over 1, we could see it's 1, 2, 4, 5, so I'm guessing this one is 3 over 3, which means to get the nth term in this sequence, the bottom number is just going to be n, and the top is going to be 3, but negative 1 oscillates. So if we just put an n here, that means the very first term would be negative 1 to the first power. That's not negative. So let's start the negative 1 term later, and that'll be our formula. So as far as the 21st term, the 21st term would be 3 times negative 1 to the 21 plus 1 power over 21, which would be 3 times negative 1 to the 22nd over 21. Now negative 1 to an even power is positive, right? So negative 1 squared is 1, negative 1 to the 4th is 1, negative 1 to the 22nd is 1. So the answer would just be 3 over 21. And that takes care of the quiz. All right, have a nice day.